Hi, great ones. Happy Monday. So today I'm going to be sharing a little bit more about the brain and how we can hack it. And of course, it aligns a lot to healthier relationships and consciously loving ourselves more through our brain. So I am fascinated with the brain, seriously obsessed. I love learning about it, but I also love really applying what I'm learning and putting it into action, testing it and seeing how accurately it works. So if you are intrigued to learn about your brain, then you're in the right session today. And if you are curious to know how it's going to affect and create healthier relationships, then you want to continue on. If you can't listen now, you can go ahead and find this on my live IGTV. It's always saved and uploaded there for my Monday share. So I spent the last 6 months reprogramming my brain. I'm still doing it. But I want to tell you a little bit of an interesting, almost mind-blowing and mind-opening journey that it's been. We have 60,000 thoughts per day, and not only do we have 60,000 thoughts, but we think these same thoughts over and over again. Why? Because the mind loves to repeat thoughts. It's efficient, it takes less energy, and that's just what it does. So our thoughts, research is showing that more and more our thoughts create our reality. Our thoughts are generating feelings, and these feelings are living and moving through our body. And then that's going to create an action, and then that's going to give us our result. So if we think, for example, that we are not doing enough, we may start to feel a lack of self-worth or efficiency. And then this feeling is like a vibration in our body, and it's going to move through each and every one of our cells. And this is an energy that we subconsciously project outward to the universe, to any person in any interaction through experiences that then creates, so that action of projecting out then creates a result for us. And so we get caught in a vicious cycle of negativity. And that looks like a certain circumstance which generates a thought, which then creates a feeling, which then moves into an action and creates our result. And then it keeps circling if we don't know how to interject. So today I want to share with you why I began reprogramming in the first place from a heart space. And I also want to share how it's been going so far and how you can start if you're curious to explore what this mind reprogramming is for your own brain. So why? Why did I start it? Well, after years of practicing self-awareness and being able to notice negative thought, self-depleting thoughts, and repetitive patterns, I wasn't really able to make a shift in terms of my actions. So I was really aware of what I was thinking, but I wasn't able to take an action to really rectify it or to shift it. Why? Well, that's because I wasn't tapping into the feeling. So I was just going from the thought to the action, and I wasn't really connecting to how the thought generates a feeling. So my thoughts are generating my feelings. So for me, for example, I wasn't noticing things like anger or agitation or frustration or impatience or regret or sadness. And then when I started to get into this feeling space, I was noticing that from the feelings of anger, impatience, regret, and sadness, I was taking action. And the action was to scream at my loved ones, to try to control and dictate an outcome. And to also victimize myself, like to justify it, that screaming or that controlling was justified because I was the victim in the story. And what was happening is this was propelling the results in my life. So if I felt victimized, I would then, put that out there, and it would create a result for me that probably made sense to me, but was really damaging and hurting to my other loved ones around me. Sometimes getting what I want in the moment felt good, but then I felt really guilty after for, the way that I had handled that interaction and for how it had occurred in that moment. So after spending more time over the last 6 months with these feelings, I started to ask myself, why is it so hard to feel other feelings that would generate other actions? feelings such as joy. And the only way forward that I knew was to break free of that vicious cycle and to understand certain thoughts are going to bring me into a space of anger, agitation, regret, and worry, and victimize. And other thoughts are going to bring me into a space of joy and calm and understanding and being more self-aware. And it is the ones that I'm programming that are going to be happening more frequently, right? So I began to write down my thoughts. I started to write down the thoughts on one side. There was huge growth here. And then I started to notice that what thoughts are repeating themselves more, like which ones are coming up more frequently for me. And just like it's proven with the 60,000 thoughts we have a day and the repetition that the brain just needs to function, I saw similar thoughts coming up over and over again. So then I noticed, I've got the thoughts on one side. Now, what are the feelings that are being generated by the thoughts? And interesting enough, I was actually having a thought that would generate anger, a thought that would generate worry, a thought that would generate impatience. And I started to notice there were similar feelings coming up as well from those thoughts. Then I decided, what thought could I have to generate a feeling that I desired? So if I desired a feeling of calm, what thought do I need to be having to cultivate that feeling? And so I started to make a list of new thoughts that I wanted to program into my brain, aligned with the new feelings I wanted to feel more regularly. And what I started to do is I planted new thoughts. Now, for a type A and perfectionist person, I was very much stuck in a certain way of thoughts. This took a little bit of awareness and practice. I'm going to give you some examples of those thoughts. So for example, I had one thought that said, I have to help me first in order to help others. Especially with my new program, the Conscious Love Method that I've been sharing. I thought I have to get it all right first before I can help others to share this method with them. And that was generating a feeling of feeling pain and withdrawn. And then from that, I would act in a way that wasn't really creating the results that I desired. So then I reprogrammed that thought. I can help me and help others. I can continue to help me at the same time while I'm helping others. In fact, it's more real. It's from a more vivid space. And what feelings did that generate? Empowerment, feeling brave and courageous. And then how was I acting when I was feeling empowered, brave, and courageous? I was sharing from a space like this, like being more vulnerable and truthful. And that was then going to create different results for me as well. So then, what did I do? I just repeated this process over and over again, finding the thoughts, finding the feelings, reprogramming new thoughts based on the feelings I wanted to have. Nonstop. Through what I say, through how I speak, I would read them to myself like 2 to 3 times a day. And what really helped was giving my brain 2 thought patterns versus just one, so that I could give my brain another opportunity to think in a different way. And I'm going to give you an example, which is very private from my own little journal here, where I write my thoughts. So this one was dated July 12th, and I just booked a ticket to go to the United States for my holiday. First travel during COVID, a lot of feelings were coming up that were generating, different actions, and I had to go in and look for the thoughts behind those feelings. So here are some of the thoughts that I had. What if we get delayed? What if the trip isn't worth it? What if we get COVID? Maybe we should cancel. We have so much to do here. We're not going to be able to find the time to go. And those thoughts were creating feelings of anxiety, worried, agitation, right? So then I was going to be acting in a space from that around the people around me the whole time when you're feeling those feelings. So then that was one story I gave my brain. Okay, yes, you could get delayed. The trip could maybe not be worth it. Perhaps cancel. This is what things will look like if you cancel. Okay, this will what will look like if you get COVID. And then I thought, now I got to give my brain another array of thoughts, right? So I started to program it with, what if the trip is really worth it? How is it going to be so refreshing to be in nature, to be in a different temperature? Because if you're coming from the UAE, you know how hot it is here in July. How is it going to feel to be in a different environment? It's going to be amazing to be in a different environment. We get to see family. We have this opportunity to switch off completely from work. We get to connect with others. We get to fully relax. It's going to be worth it. It's going to be amazing. Everything we need to do now can wait. And so I started to reprogram with those thoughts. And I noticed they were generating new feelings. Excitement, curiosity, connection, and even calm as well, and feeling courageous. So what I want to let you know is that we have one way of programming our brain, which is a certain type of thoughts that are going to give us a certain type of feelings. And then we can give our brain a new perspective, which is going to be a new thought pattern, which is going to give us different feelings. So this is how mind reprogramming works. It's not to take the thought you don't want and replace it with a new one. That doesn't really work. But it's to give your brain the opportunity to look at two different scenarios in the mind, and then notice that you play out both scenarios in your mind. And then the second thing that how mind programming works is to literally program new thoughts as frequently as you can until they stick like honey. And you have to do this really frequently. I'm talking 6 months in. So now months in, I can see the benefit of what this has been for me. New neurons are firing. So new thoughts are starting to come up more frequently. So something that may have agitated me before is not agitating me the same. Because new neurons have fired and that new thought is starting to play out, right? So some of the thoughts that I programmed, and I just want to be really real with you, is the I help me and help others. So now I notice when I have feelings of I don't want to share that with my tribe, or, I can't go there, I'm not ready to offer this yet. I then have that new thought that says, I help me and I help others, versus I have to help me first and then I can help others. So now that these new neurons are firing, new feelings are coming up, such as empathy and compassion, self-kindness, self-love, happiness and calm. And these are creating new actions. So now it's how I speak, the decisions I choose to make, how I show up, how I process challenges, and how I respond to loved ones around me. And these are giving me new results. I'm making stronger connections, I'm being more truthful, I'm increasing my communication, I enhance feelings of love and calm within myself and within my home. And this means I'm spending less time in self-blame, less time in judgment, less time in what-ifs. So now I want to share how you can start doing this for yourself, because changing your thoughts creates new results. And if you want new results in your life, this is a method that you can do to get there. So since I help women cultivate a deeper relationship with their self, and as a result, that's going to help them magnetize an intimate, loving partnership with a life partner, I'm kind of talking from this angle on how I can help you. So this means that we're going to be creating new thoughts, which are going to create new feelings, which are going to help us take different actions, which are going to change our results. But it has to start with ourselves, right? It has to start what's happening here. So I want you to do one thing. Start logging down your thoughts when it comes to your relationships and what you're thinking about, your potential future life partner, your potential relationship. Start logging all the thoughts you're having about this. Number 2, start logging the thoughts and notice what feeling is this bringing up for me, right? So really not to do it to judge your feelings, but to do it to investigate. What feeling is this coming up for me here? And then number 3, when you're facing a challenging scenario in your mind, I will never meet a quality man, I don't know when I'm going to connect with my life partner, all men are the same, they are no good men, these are all thoughts that you've programmed, right? I want you to give yourself another scenario for the brain, such as, I will meet a quality man is out there for me, men are different, there are different stories, there are good guys out there. There is a life partner that's looking for the same, results that I'm looking for. And just give yourself this moment to visualize and be in the space of a new thought scenario versus getting stuck in just the same thought scenario. Because your brain likes to repeat what you give it. So if you keep giving it the same thing, you're just going to get stuck in that same cycle. So I truly hope this insight, yet I know it's deep, was opening to you, was mind-opening, right? And if you want to dig deeper and you want to go on a curiosity call with me and connect with me, then I do this one-to-one free curiosity and connection call where we can dig deeper into what these thoughts are for you and what your limiting beliefs are when it comes to this relationship with self that is really the stepping stone to the relationship with someone else. So if you're interested to learn more about the Conscious Love Method, go ahead and send me a DM, connect, and you will find this video saved to my IGTV. So you can go back and check this brain hack for your mind and for healthier relationships. Thank you, great ones. Have a beautiful day or night.